Here, and I am so excited. Today I have with me Megan Bange and David Bange from David Bange Roofing. And not Miami. Are you in the city of Miami? What's the city that you're actually located in?
Fort Lauderdale. I mean, we're in
Fort
Davie, but
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, yeah. So it's basically Miami to the rest of the world.
Love that. So it was such an amazing time that we had over the last week and a half, getting to meet a lot of people, and I'm so glad that I had the pleasure of getting to meet you guys. It was really nice, having the opportunity to meet friends in real life instead of just digitally like we've been doing over the last year. Now, maybe David and Megan, maybe you guys can introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I'm David
Yeah,
Bange, uh, David Bange Roofing, and I'm a roofer. I've been roofing my whole life. Family business, been on it since I was born.
fabulous. So now you previously were working. It was a family business. You were working with your dad, and you decided to branch out onto your own. Now, what made you decide to do that?
Just kind of the evolution. He's still active in the business. He's still, great business owner. And I just decided to go
Absolutely.
off on my own. Full blessing. Everything's similar. We talk every day. It's not a it's not a disgruntled situation at all. It's actually very supportive.
That's fabulous. Now, I guess when we go back to when we go back to when you guys were not together, or you just met each other, David, you already had the business running, or had you
No,
started the business yet?
no, I hadn't fully left and started my own venture when I met
Oh,
Megan.
wow.
Yeah.
I love that. So you guys did this together. So you decided to branch off from your dad. You're on your own with the support of Megan. And I know that it hasn't been the whole time that Megan has been working in your office with your team. She was doing her own thing, and I guess what made you decide to add Megan into the office, and how did you guys come up with being able to make that decision in the first place?
For me, I mean, the big thing was, I was hesitant, just family working together no matter what. Plus, she had a great career. She was a firefighter, so there was really no need to do that. And then we just realized that some of her, creativeness. When I met her, she was going to school for art, and then she became a firefighter. So, utilizing some of that creativeness within the business was honestly perfect. And we both worked separately, so we got to do that without needing to work together, which I feel like gave us the ability to appreciate it maybe a little bit better than we would have if we would have entered the relationship in that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, we got the boxing voice tuned in from Atlanta. Hello, the boxing voice. That's Ness. I
We
know that
talk about the how my dad was constantly trying to. I guess my dad loved Megan for a long time and was actually trying to. He kept going into the place she was working at with, "Hey, my son's awesome," kind of wanting to enter her into the family. And the funny thing is, she's a lot younger than me, so he was actually talking about my brother. And then I go in there and meet her.
Yeah.
He was trying to hook my brother up with her, and I met her organically and fell in love, and then that was it. But it was just kind of
Oh,
funny.
that's perfect. A
My
third
dad
party.
wanted her to be the daughter-in-law anyway, so he kind of selected her as well.
Made him the best
sandwich he's ever had.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it worked out. I guess it definitely worked out. So David, I know we were there, and we actually I actually stole a hat. I stole a hat from the truck, and I noticed on the hat you have. Can you remind me what the words are? What that says there?
Yeah, transparent, accountable, and ethical. Those are big three core values of the business that we make most decisions off of.
So why would that be important to, I guess, not just to someone who's looking for a roofer, but for a business owner? Like most of the people who might follow me, might even follow you, they're small business owners. Maybe like you're a successful entrepreneur, you know what you do, what you're doing, and you're growing. Like how do you, why are those things important?
I mean, I think they're important to every aspect of life. I mean, I'm a very transparent person. I'm not a good liar at all. I don't like the pressure of lies, even white lies. I would rather be fully honest. I think it's just better that way. You know, I'm a very transparent person, so I think, you know, when you're a certain personality, it normally ends up translating directly over to your business. I think trying to be something you're not is not worth it. So I'm a very transparent person, and I hold myself very accountable, and I deem myself to be very ethical. I make decisions on whether it's an ethical decision or not, and how I interpret that. So it's important for me to be around other people that hold the same values as me and Megan do.
Absolutely. So transparency, being ethical, and what was the last one? Sorry, I apologize.
Accountable.
Accountability. So how do you think being accountable affects your business or the people that want to do business? Like why would that be important to a small business owner?
I mean, I feel like people need to do what they say, and you know, need to be able to back up what they're promising, and that's anything in life. You know, I think it's important for a business owner to be like that with his employees, with his family, as well as, you know, the company needs to be that way to the customer.
Absolutely, super important. And oftentimes businesses don't operate this way. They don't necessarily hold themselves to the same level that maybe their clients would hope that they would hold them to. Um, how did you come up with these three? Are these pillars, or was it, what made you decide to make these items important for your business?
Yeah, we were coming up with a campaign on figuring out what we wanted our core values to be. You know, working with Cardone Ventures, and these were just some things that really stood out that we wanted to keep a reminder every day, kind of like with the bracelets and everything. You know, like have something that you're willing to put in print, you're willing to hang your hat on. You know, what are you really willing to put out there? I feel like when you put something out there, you're kind of holding yourself accountable to being that way. You know, so it's good for us to do that, to make sure we can hold ourselves accountable to those core values that should be throughout the entire business and as a family.
Absolutely. As a family and as a business, right? And I think that's one of the things that makes, I guess, even these three things easier for you to be able to use in your home if you're also using in your business. Um, what would you say? Maybe I should ask Megan this question. What would you say was the biggest challenge when you guys started working together? Because that's been just recently, right?
Oh yes, the beginning of this year.
So what would you say has been your biggest challenge, or when you first started working together, what was your biggest challenge?
I don't know. What would you
You
say?
know, getting back into getting,
Um,
I imagine as a firefighter, you were in your routine, your regular routine of doing, you know, the same firefighter things that you do every day. And now all of a sudden you're going from seeing each other at the beginning and the end of the day to seeing each other
yeah.
maybe more frequently, right?
I mean, I think one thing that helps us is we try not to work constantly just directly with each other, to where she's able to be within the business without being attached to me no matter what. I think that that helps it, you know, create some level of separation that is, you know, happier at home and happier at work. So that, you know, home life really never gets drug into work, and work life never really gets drug into home, because we deal with different departments. Like we come together and we have meetings over things, but we don't really day to day. She's not like my assistant,
Yeah.
you know. So that would probably not work for us.
You guys have different roles within the organization.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Megan deals with helps with the marketing, and I just trust her to deal with that for me.
I love that. I think that's a huge, part of, especially of couples being able to be successful is when each of you can have your own roles, and you know it's trusted that one person is working as hard as the other on whatever their roles are within the organization. So I definitely love that for sure.
Makes it
Um,
easy. She works way harder than me. I'm a hard worker, but she works very hard.
Different.
She's an all-star mom too, so I could
is
never.
that true, Megan? Is that true?
He gives me a lot of credit.
She don't take enough credit.
That's wonderful. So I guess when it comes to goal setting, because I know that you can set goals individually, of course. Do you guys also set goals as a couple together?
Yeah, yeah, but not. I guess not as formally as the business. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like personally our goals are directly linked to the business, so the business goals will kind of take care of any personal goals we need to get to. I mean, we're in the growth stage of the business, so we make sure we have enough time for the kids and the kids are taken care of, but it's definitely a focus on growing the business to make everything else a lot easier.
I love that. And I think as individuals and as a couple, any sort of being an entrepreneur trying to grow a business, it's really hard work. And I know that each of you with your own individual roles, you probably have individual goals and then goals together as a couple. But you guys do also have a couple kids. You have David Jr. and Princess Sadie. I love the name Sadie. It's so sweet. As parents, how much do you think you influence your kids when it comes to, I mean, obviously they're so young. I guess maybe right now it's not even something for you to think about. But when it comes to influencing your kids, what's your goal for them, for how they see you guys working together?
I mean, I don't know about her. I mean, I think about it every day. A big thing that's important to me is, to my son, you know, how I talk to Megan or how I treat Megan is how he's going to treat his wife in the future. And how I treat Megan will also, almost conduct how my daughter, her future relationships will end up being as well. So I always think about being an example. We try not to yell in the house ever. It's just not a big thing for us. We're very mellow at home. We never bring work to home because I think it's very important for us to show them the right example so that they don't have, you know, a rough household when they get older. Be a good example. For me as a dad, I think it's, especially being a man with testosterone, I need to not bring anger into the home or frustration, no matter what the situation is.
Absolutely. So just being a really great example. What would you say if you were like looking back at how you got started working together, and the success that you've seen so far working together? Do you have like maybe a couple tips that you can give to, which I think you've already mentioned, making sure that you leave frustrations at work, but is there anything else that you can give as far as advice goes? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they do work together with their spouse, and sometimes it doesn't go so fabulous. Sometimes it doesn't go so fabulous at all. So a couple tips or ideas for how other people can see the same success that you guys have seen.
I would say I never thought we would work together. He is good at roofing, I was good at firefighting, and it's because we stay in our lane. He has a lot of business savvy. I don't. I'm more of the creative thinker or the visionary. So I'll say my ideas, but I don't say you have to try this. I just tell him, and if he wants to use it, he does. If he doesn't, I let him handle all the technical and mental part of the business. And I do the creative stuff when it comes to social media, just trying to come up with ideas to get known.
Yeah, you're killing it with that. You're doing amazing with the social media. It's great watching you. Definitely great watching you.
Thank you.
So, what about you, David? What would you say a tip would be?
Working together by not really working together. Like we work together, but honestly, we don't we don't deal with each other all day, every day, constantly. She's off,
Out there,
yeah,
going to the roofs, getting content, videos.
So keeping your roles.
yeah.
Keeping.
We keep it very professional, like we're not a couple, and that was a big for me. Out of respect to my employees prior to her being here, and even now, is to not make any type of like favoritism because it's my wife. She
Mhm.
she earns what she has, and it's not a situation where she's here because she's my wife, and she makes it a lot easier on me because I'm concerned always with that, keeping everybody happy. So,
Mhm.
I've never really had to say that to her, but it's always been something in the back of my mind where I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, she's just here because she's my wife. Everybody here adores her and respects what she does, and it's not one of those situations where it's just she's my wife and she just gets a paycheck.
Yeah. And so, Megan, was it hard for you to make the decision to leave your career and or to not to adjust to change, I guess, change your career or change hats? Was that a hard decision, or how did you make that decision?
It was hard and easy at the same time because we talked about it, got together, went over a list of the pros and the cons, and
That's a great idea.
we brainstormed it. And we're like, you know what? This is the smart thing to do. And I also went to a seminar that really opened my eyes. Before, we weren't really on the same page when it came to goals.
Mm-hmm.
I was only worried about firefighting, fire inspecting. I knew that's what I knew. Now we're in goal alignment, and I'm actually really intrigued by roofing.
Oh, I love that. That's
We can
very
shout her
cool.
out. We can shout out
Pardon me?
Elena. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just gonna ask you which seminar was that? What did you learn that changed that mindset?
It was the
The
Mastermind
Bay Mastermind.
by
Yeah.
Elena Cardone, and just how to have it all,
Mhm.
and building an empire was what it was all about. I got a workbook, and I learned from many other ladies there who are running their own business, and it was just really inspiring.
So you went to Elena Cardone, and so she does teach a lot about building an empire. I guess when it comes to building your empire, or even what you learned at that mastermind, what's an empire, and can you, I guess, talk about what you learned at that event that maybe made you change your mind?
It was also reading the book beforehand. I don't read books often until now, so that helped put it in a different perspective, because before I didn't understand it. And now it just opened my eyes up to a whole new way of thinking. I always thought pretty small and never thought your goals can be that large.
Yeah.
It's almost
Right.
noble in society to not think big.
I know. Why? How are
Crazy.
you going to get this far if your goals are only this far, right?
Because most people don't want you to think big; they want to leave that for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Exactly,
want
exactly.
competition up top.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think Elena, the really cool thing about what she teaches is that you can both be leaders. You can absolutely both be leaders. You just have different roles within your organization, whether your organization is your business or your home, like your empire is all of it, and that you can have it all. So that's very cool that you had that experience, Megan, and that it made you kind of change your mindset to still being able, you can still be a leader. You have different roles, and that's, I mean, I love Elena Cardone. The things that I learned from her, both her and her husband Grant Cardone. We were just at an event over the weekend. We saw you, David, at one of the events. How has the things that you've learned from networking, from I know that, David, I know that you invest in your business and learning. How has that affected your business?
Oh, I mean, we live pretty modestly, and we invest into the business because that's our investment for the future. We know that it's got a very big compounding effect if we just focus on growing the business. So yeah, I mean, we pretty much put everything back into the business because, in all reality, it's not just putting it into the business; it's putting it into the people that help grow the business. So, if you can create alignment with those people, um, and be transparent with them, then they can actually help you grow the business. You can't do it by yourself. You need good people, and you need to be able to invest in them, or nobody's really gonna follow somebody that's not going to invest in them or be aligned
Absolutely.
with anybody that's not invested.
And I think that one of the things that we talked about over the last whenever we were there is if you are willing to invest in yourself and your business, not only is your business going to benefit, you're going to benefit, but other people will see how committed you are to your business and will then have more confidence in doing business with you. I don't know if I said that in a big, long, um, you
I know
know, it's huge, right? If you're willing to invest in your business, it means that you believe in your business, and more people will be likely to do business with you if you're confident in what you do already.
yeah, because if you don't invest in your business, you may not be confident that you're really that good at business. There should be zero fear in spending money or investing in your business or the people unless you lack the confidence that it'll have a return. So if that's the case, then how can people do business with you if you're not even confident in yourself or your own product to be willing to put past funds in to create future funds? That's just, in my opinion, it's a lack of confidence. And why would I want to work with somebody that has a lack of confidence in their product and what they're selling me?
Absolutely. So it's so important to invest not only in yourself, but keep reinvesting into your business. Absolutely. And the whole being transparent, being ethical, being accountable, I think that's so important, not just in business, but in relationships, in every transaction, really. How do you actually, implement this and make sure that it happens within your organization?
First step is print it and put it on hats, t-shirts, and a big picture behind me. Like, you put it out there. If you don't put it out there, you're afraid to put it out there, which means you don't want to be held accountable to those three words. So
Yeah,
just putting it out there alone, you know, makes you have to live up to it. You're
absolutely.
manifesting it just by creating it and being willing to put it out there, being willing to put yourself out there. It's just another layer of confidence.
And I think it actually like feeds right into the fact that that you're holding your own self accountable. Like even just by printing it, you're holding your own self accountable, saying, "This is what we live up to, and we're telling you this ahead of time so that we can keep our own selves accountable." Right?
Yeah, full transparency. It's way more for me than it is for anybody else, and I gotta hold myself accountable. If I'm not willing to put it out there, it's it's just like wearing the bracelets with all the sayings. It's the same thing. Like, are you willing to really put yourself out there and keep reminding yourself of the same thing? Yeah, I gotta do it for myself. Got to keep myself motivated every day because everybody's relying on me.
Yeah. And some of the things that we do, well, I mean, a lot of the things that we do is just for our own selves, right? To hold our own selves accountable. As soon as you can hold your own self accountable, you'll be more likely to actually take action on the things that you want to do, especially if you do it visibly in front of other people, right? If you tell other people that that's what you want for your business. So before we go, I just want to ask you both the same question separately, maybe together at the end. So what are you the most excited about in the future, whether it's for the business or for, for whatever opportunities you have maybe within your family, or what are you the most excited about? We'll ask you, David, first.
Okay. Um, You know what? I'm the most excited about um, being able to take you know my my grit and be able to change other people's lives in the future. That, and being able to share that with Megan so she can get to feel that feeling too. With her, because I'm not just trying to create that for myself and for everybody else, but I also need to be, I can create that for Megan and show
Mhm.
her how great this can really be. By helping people. I think, money's just really not that big of a deal. I mean, money's what you need to be able to use if you're investing it back into your business to grow other people and change lives. So being able to do that and being able to, also have Megan be able to get that feeling out of it too is, probably the most rewarding thing for me.
Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of changing people's lives? That's huge. Um, Megan, what about you?
Just watching how it grows all together and implementing new things in the future.
Absolutely. And then together, do you have anything excited planned for the next year with the business or with your family? Anything exciting that you wanted to share?
We're trying to fill up the calendar, make sure there's no white space in the calendar.
Love
There's always something new coming. Where
Lots of events to learn and
Yeah.
grow. I actually want to talk about implementing maybe something for kids in the future, or homeowners have a thing where we can do a demonstration or have like events, and also
Yeah.
do what are they called? Team building outings.
Oh, yeah. Like I mean, your team culture is huge, right? So that's very cool to hear that that's something that's important to you guys. So you're not only concerned about customers and servicing their roofing needs, that you're also concerned about your culture internally. That's really cool to hear. Really, really cool to hear.
Yeah, you got to focus on the people that are on the roof.
Yeah.
Because if they love what they're doing and they love the company they're working with, that'll show up, in the product that they produce. An angry cook is never going to cook good food.
Or it will be really spicy, right?
Yeah.
And then being able to give back will grow enough that we can give away a roof to a military veteran or somebody who lost it all or got damaged in a fire or lightning,
Mm-hmm.
a bad hurricane. Just having that ability to help others.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. Well, guys, I'm excited for the next year. I can't wait to see how things go. I'm sure that you guys are just gonna gonna grow and be fabulous together. And obviously you're doing all the right things to get there for sure. So thank you very much, David and Megan Bange, for joining me today. And thank you for joining me. I will be here again every Thursday at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, for a recording of my podcast, She Hustles. And don't forget to join my Facebook group, Social Selling Growth Masters, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.